Pull
All
back
right.
that there curtain. And,
Welcome.
ooh,
Oh gosh, I got
my
the
goodness.
poetry sign
Are
up
we
by
in the right
mistake.
place here?
What am I doing here? We are in
don't
a,
adjust your channel.
yeah.
Yes.
We are not in our living room tonight. We had to make a change due to a little water
Water
incident
problem? One of
in
the
our
suites
in our
above us?
building. One of the suites above us had a water problem, and so we were affected as well. And there's some very loud fans out in the living room area. So we moved here into the bedroom.
We are in,
And-
which we also call Studio C.
Yes, we've never filmed in this room
It had
before.
been mothballed for a performing studio, and we've just kind of,
So now we've opened it up.
there we go.
So welcome everyone. If you're joining us for the first time, we're Sue and Dwight, and in spite of the fact that we're not in the living room, this is Living Room Live. This week our theme is Love Conquers All. And we think that that's a very timely one, first of all, because this is the week for Valentine's Day, but also I think it's something that's very true in the world. So we are going to start off with a great song by the Bells from 1971 called Fly Little White Dove Fly. When we're stuck in troubled days, we must learn to love each other instead of going different ways. We must try to get together. Fly, little white dove, fly way up high. Spread your wings, sing out your cry. Cross the universal sky. If we love the human race, peace should be your aspiration. Let's make this a better place. Spread the word to every nation. Fly, little white dove, fly way up high. Spread your wings, sing out your cry. Cross the universal sky. Fly, little white dove, fly way up high. Spread your wings, sing out your cry. Cross the universal sky. When a simple word is spoken, it should be our guiding light. If vows for peace are never broken, the whole world will unite. Fly, little white dove, fly way up high. Spread your wings, sing out your cry. Cross the universal sky. Fly, little white dove, fly way up high. Spread your wings, sing out your cry. Cross the universal sky. Everybody, yeah. Fly, little white dove, fly way up high. Spread your wings, sing out your cry. Cross the universal sky. Cross the universal sky. Cross the universal sky. I do love that song. It's so quintessentially early 70s.
The Bells from
The Bells.
Montreal, Canada.
Hey, I'm going to take a couple of moments to see who's all with us tonight, and I'm going to start over on Facebook. And I see that first in is Lauren from here in Toronto, and with the same time stamp we have Martin and Kirsten from Bowen Island, BC, and Peggy from Iowa. with us tonight. And Charles is saying hello from Bonnie, Scotland. And Peter is tuning in from Lively, Ontario. And Deborah from South Jersey. And John and Linda in Snowy, Illinois. And,
yes, we're getting some of that this evening as well.
There's a
I'll
storm
throw a
happening.
snowball off the top of our building, see if it gets you in Illinois.
It's apparently going to be a big night of snow for us here, which is not all that common for in Toronto, so it should be interesting. We've got Diana, she's in Montreal bracing for 35 centimeters of snow by tomorrow, so that's going to be a lot. We've got Linda saying hello from Wyoming, Ontario, and Sybil is saying hello from snowy and cold northern New Jersey, and sorry, it's moving fast on me. Oh, and Martin says Detective Inspector Bonnie Scotland reporting for duty. We've got Ron tuning.
Detective Inspector Mike Shepard is somewhere
Yes,
out there. We really need him. Yeah.
We're really enjoying that new Broken Wood Mysteries show. It's quite good. We've got Ron saying greetings from Port Hope, and so far they just have a touch of snow. And Jane is tuning in from snowy Stoughton, Wisconsin. We definitely have a snow theme tonight. And we've got Gwen from out in the Dryden area, and Jan from rainy Tennessee. And Gail from here in Toronto, and Ellen from Idaho, and Brian from out in the Kitchener area. Oh, Charles has the bar set up on Facebook, so grab a beverage of your choice. I see he's even included some coffees in there tonight.
I think we're going to need hot toddies on a snowy.
Oh, that's probably what he's thinking. Yes, you can add something to your specialty coffees.
Snowy evening.
And we've got Jan saying hello from almost rainy Walnut Creek in California. She says good wishes with the water issue. Thank you. It's one of those.
You live in a tall building, in a building.
You know, isn't this funny? Lauren says loud fans in their living room. They should just tell those fans they need to keep it down a bit. I hadn't thought about that.
The double entendre.
Double entendre. And we've got Sybil tuning. Did I mention Sybil from? Yes, I did, right, from South Jersey. And Drennan is tuning in tonight. I'm not sure from where, but welcome. And let me zoom down and see if I can see any other new names. Okay, that's all I can see on Facebook so far. But over here on YouTube, I see that Mickey and Mark are sending lots of love from St. Paul, Minnesota, and Christine from snowy central Illinois. And Kim and Peter saying they're fashionably late, but no less enthusiastic. They're out in Belleville, where I bet they're going to get some of the white stuff tonight. Oh, and Mary Lynn is tuning in from down in the St. Catharines, Grimsby area. Is that right? Oh,
pretty sure it's Burlington.
Burlington. Okay, I'm sorry. I get that mixed up all the time. Sorry about that. But I also know that Renata and Dennis are tuning in tonight. Marianne and Kathy. I'm sorry I didn't turn my phone off as I usually do. And we've also got Rick on the replay, and Roger and Mary on the replay, and I hope I haven't forgotten people just because I was a little distracted there. But anyway, we are going to continue on now with a song that Dwight wrote about a real town but a fictitious love story.
And a love story in a real town. Little town that also is on a little lake, Lake Dauphin. At the end of Ochre River, you have Ochre Beach, and there's a town of Ochre River. And this is a song about something that may or may not have happened there. And goes something like this.
Let me just make sure I can hold my guitar. We're on different chairs tonight.
I first saw her dancing on your shore, playing with the ice as she would sing. We were young and oh so foolish. We leapt along the floes as the winter melted into spring. Ochre River, can you hear me? I've lost the one I love, and I'm quickly sliding out of reach. Ochre River, have you seen her? She's the one you brought my way when we found each other on your beach. Came the summer, we'd sit for hours, watch you quickly flow down from Riding Mountain in the south. As the night fall, we'd hear the wolves call. We'd hold on so tight while you ran off in the night. Ochre River, can you hear me? I've lost the one I love, and I'm quickly sliding out of reach. Ochre River, have you seen her? She's the one you brought my way when we found each other on your beach. Then the leaves came, things got rearranged. Soul was in the air, bringing in a frost over her heart. Then came the day that she would say she had found another, and it was time for us to part. Ochre River, can you hear me? I've lost the one I love, and I'm quickly sliding out of reach. Ochre River, have you seen her? She's the one you brought my way when we found each other on your beach. Ochre River, don't take her away. Ochre River, don't take her away. Yes, indeed.
I'm just going to carefully put my guitar back over here.
So, folks, how's it going? Middle of February, almost already.
How is that possible?
But you know what
It
that
seems like
means, right? It
just
means
started.
winter's almost over, he says,
Well.
knowing that in Canada or in the northern states, winter's almost never over, right?
Well, you know, I had put a lot of faith into our groundhog this year. Little Wyerton Willie did predict an early spring. I have a bit of a bone to pick with him because this is now our second snowstorm since February 2nd, I guess, or 1st, which is Groundhog Day. And so I'm feeling like he was misleading us a little bit there.
Well, I guess that's what
I guess
happens
when you put your trust in a rodent.
put your trust in a rodent
Hey,
or
I
an
s-
orangutan. But
Hey, I see that that Earl is tuning in from Kansas tonight over on Facebook, and Cindy from Ohio, and Christine from West Allis, Wisconsin, and Sherry from very rainy San Pedro, California. And
it
just,
never rains in Southern California. So
but man, it pours. Oh, and I think Margaret is tuning in tonight as well with Helen. So Hello to everyone who's joining us. We appreciate you being out with us tonight.
So, wonderful, wonderful love song by the wonderful, wonderful Peggy Seeger. Right?
Yes, it was written by Ewan McCall.
Oh, yeah, right.
For Peggy Seeger.
Gotcha.
And I know when I first heard this song, I remember this song from the 70s because it was a big hit for Roberta Flack. Thank you. Just went out of my head before Roberta Flack. But when I first heard the original version, I found it really interesting, and there's a little bit of a story attached to that Peggy Seeger and Ewan McCall didn't like any of the subsequent versions other than, I guess, her version. And did they do it together? No, I can't remember. Oh, you know what? But anyway, they didn't like any of the other versions, and the other versions were beautiful, like Peter, Paul, and Mary, and of course Roberta Flack. So it's kind of interesting. Look up the Peggy Seeger version when you get a chance after the show, and see what you think. But we're going to do a version that's more like Peter, Paul, and Mary than the Roberta Flack one, because I just love the pacing of the song in the version they did. I remember just thinking how incredibly romantic the words are in this song. I mean, I thought the moon and the stars were the gifts you gave to the dark and empty skies. Oh, well.
Did give you the...
Gives me the...
Focus?
Yes, yeah.
Whoa.
Now that I'm just remembering the original, it's in Peggy Seeger's voice, actually, the one that I listened to, and it's quite interesting. This next one, oh, well, Dwight wrote a romantic song for me. It's kind of the only one, really, that we've, sort of the only one that we've written about ourselves or to each other, isn't it? Or no, I guess not. I wrote Prairie Girl about me. But Dwight wrote this song back in the early 2000s, and I just love it. It's called Time With You. And at the time, I was working at a bank, and so I would get up every morning and leave, and Dwight was on a little bit of a sabbatical from a job he had been doing, and so it was kind of, that's what this song is just all about, me sort of getting up and going in the daytime and then coming back at the end of the day. And one day when I came home from work, he had written this, and I was quite charmed. I got that same feeling of the Peggy Seeger.
The medical.
Yeah.
Medical
No, it wasn't a
focus.
medical. It wasn't a medical thing.
Don't want anyone feeling like I'm talking over them when I say spilkus.
Yeah. Is that a medical term?
It's a medical term.
Oh, we're going down one, aren't we? So I'm just going to lift my little footrest up a bit there. So, okay.
Can I get your card? Yeah, there we go. We're somewhere in the neighborhood of A.
Yeah, if you're playing along.
What?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to put my glasses up just for something different.
Oh, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You wake up, raise your head, throw back the covers on the bed, whisper goodbye in my ear. I'm still asleep, but I can hear. I don't want to say the ocean blue, climb the highest mountain that Kathmandu. I'm gonna hold you the whole night through. Just wanna spend all my time with you. You come home at the end of day, sing out my name in your way. Take my hand, hold me tight. We'll be together through the night. Don't wanna sail the ocean blue, climb the highest mountain that Kathmandu.
I'm gonna hold you the whole night through. Just wanna spend all, don't wanna sail the ocean. Climb the highest mountain they can't do. I'm gonna hold you the whole night through. Just wanna spend all my time with you. Just wanna spend all my time with you.
That rang out for a long time. I love when it does that.
And there's actually a banjo on that song when we recorded it, which is kind of interesting.
Oh, I forgot
Pardon me.
about that. That's on our
Darlings at the
Darlings,
Open
our
Stage.
first CD, actually,
Absolutely.
from 2005 or something. Yeah, gosh.
2000.
Where do the years? That means 20 years ago? Is that possible? Holy smokes.
We're going to have to celebrate our 20th anniversary remix or remaster. Although I think as folks are well aware, there are already a number of projects that are required to be done
I
already
know.
in the pipeline, as we all like to say.
I have something positive to report for the Tuxedo Kicks song Lovers. I was hearing while there's this kind of water issue happening on the other side of the wall, I've been in this room sort of with a little makeshift office, and so I can actually hear even better what's going on in Dwight's office, and I was hearing Tuxedo Kicks tracks being listened to, so that means something's happening, doesn't it?
It's alive and kicking.
It's
right?
kicking,
alive
yeah.
and kicking. There you go.
Yeah, I'm just zipping over to YouTube for a sec while I see that our Toronto Gwen is tuning in tonight. Oh, and Margaret out in Saskatoon says coming in at halftime. Great. Well, this next song is a love story of a couple we knew here in our neighborhood, actually. It was Sid and Ida Dolge, and Sid was one of the original travelers who were the Canadian weavers, and they had been married. I'm thinking
It's
something
over
like
60.
over 60 years when we met them, and just a really lovely couple. And Dwight had jotted down one day, years before we met them, the name Sweet Ida, which was the name of an apple variety here in Ontario, and thought it was such a cool name. He wanted to write a song about it. And then sure enough, we met a very sweet Ida, and the song of their Sid and Ida's love story kind of filled things out. So this is on our For a Moment CD, isn't it?
For a moment.
Yes. Okay.
Into each life there comes a love that lasts both strong and true. And though it's been long 50 years, I'm still in love with you. Ida, sweet Ida, your lips as red as the apple of your name. Ida, sweet Ida, dance with me once again. I stole you apple of your name. Ida, sweet Ida, dance with me once again. Apple of my eye, and I will ever hold you near until the day I die. Ida, sweet Ida, your lips as red as the apple of your name. Ida, sweet Ida, dance with me once again. Oh, Ida, sweet Ida, your lips as red as the apple of your name. Ida, sweet Ida, dance with me once again. Dance with me once again. Dance with me once again. Sid was a great guy. We'd get together for lunch, and I'd go and Sid, oh, you don't want to know.
You don't. Yeah,
You
they're
don't
a
wanna.
lovely couple. Well, you know what? I forgot to check if Martin told everyone to get their kalimbas ready. He probably did because, yes, he did, because he's very on top of things. You know,
He's up there in the production booth.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, with the headphones on.
You
Nice
know,
looking
just
headphones.
before we continue on, I see that Lauren did some fact checking for us tonight. He said Darlings of the Open Stage was released in 2006, so we have a bit more time before we have to observe its 20th anniversary, which is very good for procrastinators like us. Or maybe we should have just kept thinking it was 2005 and we might get around to it.
Well, we didn't do a release party for that CD, and we did
didn't.
for other
No,
ones.
I know.
So maybe we'll have to do one next year.
Wouldn't that be fun? Yes, we called it a soft release because at that time we were just getting started. By the time that album came out, I had left my job, and Dwight and I were both doing music. No, we weren't doing music full time. You had a new job, but with a charitable organization, and I had quit my job, and we were starting to do music quite regularly, and so we just weren't all that confident about doing a CD release at that stage. So maybe now 20 years later it is the time. Well, Martin says that kalimba can only mean one thing, and that is Poetry Corner. I already tipped the hand on Poetry Corner earlier. I was trying to set it up so that I wouldn't block either of us because our
looks like we have a special guest poet. Sorry, not
our orientation is a little different from when we're in the other rooms, so I wanted to make sure it was centered, and I forgot to take it off before the show started. But anyway, tonight, as Dwight pointed out, we have a guest poet. And that guest poet is my grandfather, or my granddad, I called him. And it's very interesting. I always knew that he wrote poetry, and he used to write quite a bit. And but several years ago, I inherited his diaries. And what a treasure those have turned out to be. Even though he wrote a lot of the time just about very mundane things like
Scores in a
hockey game scores. I could tell you who scored in the New York Philadelphia hockey game on any given night in the NHL series, because I have access to that for a period of from 1960 something up to 1982. So it's really quite interesting, and really nice to have that insight on a grandparent. One of my favorite things that was in there is a poem that he wrote called "To My Wife on Our 35th Wedding Anniversary, April 28, 1961. Each time, my ever-youthful wife, I gaze upon your sweet face, it seems that all the years of life have left but little trace. Although the years are 35 since you and I were wed, and our children and their children thrive, they seem like months instead. Our riches came from him above, and not from worldly wealth. Our parenthood, our children's love, contentment, and good health. And for these, which I can truly call the best years of my life, with all their blessings large and small, I thank God and my wife. I just love that poem. I love that he wrote that on their 35th wedding anniversary. But you know what kind of freaks me out is they had only been married 35 years at that time, and I mean we've already got
we've lapped them.
We've lapped them on that anniversary anyway by over several years. So it's kind of interesting, but yeah, isn't that fun to get that little insight into your grandparents? All right, so Martin says, snap, snap, snap. Don't forget to play us out of Poetry Corner, Dwight. So that was kind of a mushy love poem. But this next song we're going to do for you is, a different kind of love verse. Not everyone is mushy in the same way. And this is a John Prine song that we just love. I forget who initially requested it some years ago.
It was from the shows.
Yes, from one of these shows. One of our viewers said, "Hey, could you guys do "In Spite of Ourselves," which is a song that John Prine and Iris Dement, I believe her name is, had recorded, and it's so fun." So.
Well, we knew a couple that used to sing this.
Who?
Uncle.
Uncle Herb and Fran.
Uncle Herb and Fran used to sing it. Yes.
That's right. Yes,
wonderful
I forgot
musical
about
couple.
that.
Yes,
They're a lovely couple too. All right.
Well, she don't like her eggs all runny. She thinks crossing her legs is funny. She looks down her nose at money. She gets it on like the Easter bunny. She's my baby, I'm her honey. I'm never gonna let her go.
Ain't got laid in a month of Sundays. I caught him once and he was sniffing my undies. He ain't too sharp, but he gets things done. Drinks his beer like it's oxygen. He's my baby and I'm his honey. Never gonna let him go.
In spite of ourselves, we'll end up sitting on a rainbow. Against all odds, honey, we're the big door prize. thinks all my jokes are corny. She does convict movies, make her horny. She likes ketchup on her scrambled eggs. Swears like a sailor when she shaves her legs. She takes a licking, keeps on ticking. I'm never gonna let her go.
He's got more balls than a big brass monkey. He's a whacked out weirdo and a love bug junkie. Sly as a fox, crazy as a loon. Payday comes and he's a howling at the moon. He's my baby, I don't mean maybe. Never gonna let him go. In spite of ourselves, we'll end up sitting on a rainbow. Against all odds, honey, we're the big door prize. We're gonna spite our noses right off of our faces. There won't be nothing but big old hearts and dancing in our eyes. Everybody, in spite of ourselves, we'll end up sitting on a rainbow. Against all odds, honey, we're the big door prize. We're gonna spite our noses right off of our faces. There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes. There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes. In spite of ourselves. Yeah. That's such a fun song. That's funny. Well, yeah, you know, and you know, love isn't all just romance, right? I mean, sometimes
It's the practical day-to-day
it's the
stuff.
practical day-to-day
Finding
stuff,
joy
like
in the,
like, can you smell this shirt to see if I should be wearing it today? I mean, that's what people do when they're in love, right? I'm not saying, you know, not telling any secrets or anything. Could be me asking you
Could have
that.
been. It certainly could have been.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know. I don't know where you go with that, Sue.
I don't know. I don't know where
Where
I
you
go
going
with
with
that.
Well, one of the, you know, we've been so lucky. Sue had, in that we got a chance to spend our lives, spend time with our grandparents. Of course, never as much as you want to, and never as much as you should. One thing you'll learn with age when it's too late. One of the benefits or things that we really enjoyed about moving to Toronto is that we're just about 45 minutes up the road from Hamilton. Not Charles Hamilton, but
No,
Sue's
Hamilton,
aunt,
Ontario.
Aunt Joan and Uncle Guy, Tonongi, lived in Hamilton with Sue's cousin Kathy. So we ended up being able to really get to spend a lot of time with them, and they were a wonderful couple that lived together a long time and loved each other till the end, and lived a very simple, lovely life, and that's what this song is all about. Came to town, work at the factory, better prospects and back in the east. They met one day, danced a night away. Little golden beauty stole his heart. He said, I love you now, and I'll love you till the end. He said, I love you now, and I'll love you till the end. Settled down, started a family, bought a house up on the mountain, lived each day as it came, so much different, so much the same. He said, I love you now, and I'll love you till the end. He said, I love you now, and I'll love you till the end. night he was lost without her, struggled through each and every day, tried his best to get by. With his last breath you could hear him say, I love you now and I'll love you till the end. I love you now and I'll love you till the end. I love you now and I'll love you till the end.
I was so happy when Dwight wrote that song. I didn't know he was going to write a song about them, and one day he came, he played it for me, fully finished, and it's just so lovely. It brings back happy memories, although sad that they're gone.
And it was kind of a very interesting life in that they had come out from Quebec
Montreal.
to live in Hamilton, because that's where a lot of steel jobs were back in the 40s and 50s. And Uncle Guy worked in the mill, or steel mill, and Joan was at home. Stelco. And Auntie Joan was a stay-at-home mom. She only had one kid, so Kathy got a lot of attention. So they were just a beautiful couple, and we'd go there for Sunday afternoons. And the funny thing was, one time, we'd often rent a car, but one time we decided to go by bus.
We always rented a car usually, but
this time we took the Go regional bus, which got us to downtown Hamilton, but they lived up on the mountain, which we had to take a local bus. And I remember Uncle Guy was just astounded that you took the bus, and then especially at the end of the night, like 11 o'clock, we knew what time the bus was going to come by, and it wasn't far from their house. Did you know? Well, we'll give you a ride.
Yeah,
Said, no, just take the bus.
But it's funny because we, being that we live downtown, we're used to taking transit everywhere, and so it was not a big deal for us. We thought it actually was kind of fun. We hopped on an express go bus, got to Hamilton, went up on that local bus, and it literally stopped right out in front of their house actually. So it was all really easy. But after that, we decided we would drive because we thought it was maybe too stressful for them.
Yes, yeah.
Thinking of us on the bus.
But it was kind of funny. Uncle Guy always called you Sonny Boy.
Sonny Boy.
And he'd offer you his Molson X.
Yeah.
Dinah, you get that, don't you?
Here we are going down.
There was another song with another song title called Sonny Boy, all about that, but I just can't.
Maybe you can still write that one
to wrap it up, or even start it. So.
Yeah.
But hey, speaking of songwriters and Canadian songwriters, Martin will be happy to know we hit our CanCon. We exceeded CanCon with the Bells, and now with this next one. Right,
yes.
Sue?
This is a song that most of you probably know, this wonderful Canadian group called Blue Rodeo. And this has always been one of my favorites of their songs. It's called Head Over Heels. Sun breaks, I can't wait till I'll be on my way again. I'm sick and tired of waiting with nothing to do. Watching the rain through a crack in the window, it's the little things that get you through. Like the same sunrise, rain that's rising over you. Walking and talking like birds in the sky. You tell your secrets, how gracefully you lie. That's the way you come to me. I'm head over heels. I'm always gonna be. That's okay. I love the way you come to me. I guess tempting fate, a little too long it seems. Walking in this heat is just like floating in a dream.
here. I'm always gonna be, that's okay. I love the way you come to me. Always gonna be, that's okay. I love the way you come to me. Tossing and turning like waves in the sea. You show yourself to me like so easily. Oh, that's the way you come to me. I'm head over heels. I'm always gonna be, that's okay. I love the way you come to me.
We didn't have a train whistle song tonight, and Dwight said, how about at the end of Head Over Heels? That's a good spot for it.
And there was in a couple of the breaks there, if check it out online. If you're not familiar with Blue Rodeo, it's an amazing Canadian band, yes. And they're huge here. I don't think they've really punched into the States really big, but it hasn't mattered. They have, but they haven't needed it. They're truly a very unique Canadian success story. And there's an amazing organ break on that song.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not sure if it was
James Gray.
James Gray that might have been the organ player. He was one of our fellow subway buskers, and he was the son of Jerry Gray, who was in the Travelers with Sid Dolgay. See how we always kind of
6 degrees of separation
to bring these stories back in this time together with a little bow. Isn't that nice?
Well, we are down to the last song of the evening. This is a love song that Dwight wrote about some friends of his from. Was it high school or university?
High school.
They were high school.
Yeah,
they were high school sweethearts.
Grade 11, grade 12.
And then afterwards, after high school, they went their separate ways. Fast forward, I don't know, 40 years or so.
Yeah.
They found each other again, and they're now married and living happily ever after. So that's what this song is all about.
Life seems so long, an endless sail across the sea. Then all at once years seem to go by, winds of change blow suddenly. We never thought too far ahead, then they're gone. After all of this time, no longer waiting for you. After all of this us met, we felt our love would last an eternity. But then dark clouds came across our bow, tore us apart suddenly. Now we somehow have a second chance for all time. After all of this time, after all of this time, no longer waiting for you. After all of this time, after all of this time, like a rolling iron on the shore, then back out to sea. We're no longer ships in a night. Now you're back here with me. After all of this time, after all of this time, no longer waiting for you. After all of this time, after all of this time,
After all of this time,
after all of this time,
no longer waiting.
no longer waiting for you. After all of this time, after all of this time.
Well,
I must say I do like that song.
yes, it would just bring it. It actually, as we sing it, I think about just how incredible that story is. Really, it almost sounds like a movie. High
Well,
school
there's
sweethearts
Also,
reuniting.
how much luck there is in love, right?
Yes.
At any stage. At
Just
the beginning, Sue and I were lucky right off the bat, but sometimes you can lose that luck, and hopefully you get it back, later
Yeah.
in some way.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, I did want to ask you. So here we are in Studio C. How do you like it? Tell us what you think. Maybe every once in a while, if the feedback, depending on the feedback, maybe we'll take the show on the road. And
Right into Studio C here.
It works.
Well,
And by the way, this, in case you're wondering, this tapestry, we picked it up on one of our trips to Africa. It's very common. These are African designs. More and more they're being made in India, mass produced and then brought back onto the continent. And you can buy them at the markets.
Lots
So,
of them,
and we
actually.
love them. They're so colorful. And this one just happened to fit perfectly on our wall.
So we've had
but
it up there for quite a while, and we thought, when we put it up, we thought, hey, maybe someday we'll get a TV in our bedroom, and then we can hide it behind here, except when we're watching. But we never did go for a TV in the bedroom, so it's just a hanging.
Yes.
It was initially thought though that maybe it would be a curtain.
So in finishing the story,
Oh, sorry about
if
that.
we were to come back here and take the show on the road, you might see a different hanging,
do
because
that.
we have probably at least 10 of these kicking around somewhere. Well, actually in lots of places, and they're gorgeous, gorgeous.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of fun being in here. We've got a whole different arrangement, the space we have to work in, and it's really kind of fun. And actually, I don't want to be pessimistic, but I have a feeling that we might have to be here next Wednesday anyway, just because, work on these things takes time. Even though all the emergency work was done and everything's fine now, there's going to have to be restorative work done, and so we probably won't be out in the living room that quickly. So, all right, we are going to say goodnight. Next Wednesday, I mentioned, is we have another show, maybe here, maybe there. And our theme, I forget what it is, although I have figured it out already. You'll have to stay tuned and watch for that. I'll have it posted on our website within the next day or so. And I guess we should let everyone go.
Yes, thanks for joining us, folks.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Thank you for joining us, folks. Hope you're enjoying your February. The snow's not getting you down, or the rain if you're down there in California where it's not supposed to rain.
And we hope there's lots of love in your rest of your week. So everybody take care, and we will see you again very